Hey everyone, it's Jen with Spirited Saturdays. I am just fresh off of crying from watching this incredible video that I'm going to link you to. This has nothing to do with the topic, but just to it be in the moment about things. Oh my God, it's this dance video. It's from America's Got Talent, I think. Somebody posted it, and it's like this dance group. They do shadows and make all sorts of shapes, and it's like a love story. Oh, it gets you. It's like so heart gutting. Anyway, I'm gonna link you to that because this video is about saying no, and if there's one thing that I want you to say yes to today, it is watching that video. Say yes to the Shadow Theater group. Anyway, and among other things, of course. So yeah, hi, we're talking about saying no and walking away from things or people that do not have our best interest at heart. So this is what I would like to say about that. I gave this some quite a bit of thought. Kind of spent some time wondering which angle I was going to come at this from, and I sort of arrived at this, which is that in order to say yes in life, we also have to say no. Life kind of works in opposites that way, and balancing out and having to know one end of the spectrum in order to know the other. And being able to fully involve ourselves in what really means something to us. So, yeah, having to say yes. If we want to say yes in life, we also have to be able to say no. If we want to say yes to the things that are meaningful to us, and if we want to have that stamina to be able to fully embrace those things, and the ability to go with the things that we want, we have to be able to and be willing to go without the things that only burden or tax us. And it's a balance. And it is essential to say no to the things that don't best serve us if we have any hope of truly going with the things that we really want or need. We want to be able to give the most to ourselves and to each other. Saying no is the equivalent of putting up a boundary. Saying no to things that we don't need or want allows us to create ample space for the things that matter to us and to each other. It allows us the space to work on making these things the best that they can be. And with that space and with that permission, we can say yes in the most meaningful of ways. We can give our all to our yeses if we allow ourselves to say no. Yeah, no doesn't have to be like a self-depriving thing or a weak thing, or and yes isn't, on the other hand, yes isn't always a martyrdom thing. It's not always, it's saying no is sometimes the stronger answer. Yes and no are symbols of personal power. So you get to decide how you want to use and assert your power, or how you want to empower yourself. You might need to say no to things that someone else might not need to say no to. For example, just to give a personal example, and this is a minor thing, but I normally need time to myself before meeting up with a person. So I often build that into my time, whether it be a few minutes or a half hour or an hour or whatever. It could be anything. I consider this very valuable and essential time. And if someone asks me if I'm free during this time, I often say no. Because wind down time or centering time is essential for me. And it's totally a totally valid part of my schedule. And no less real or important because I'm not doing something. Because I am doing something. I'm doing something internally, and I need that to recharge. And it serves me in many ways. So it ends up making the things that I'm doing much more valuable and much more meaningful. And so this is a time I might say no where another person might say yes. And that's okay. because you get to define your limits based on your own personal preferences, and that's all completely valid. So take some time to notice what you're inclined to say no to, where you would normally jump to yes because you think it's the socially or logically correct thing to do. And take the time to evaluate that and see if there's any way you could really get in line with what makes you happiest. And do that because you have a right to, because you get to do that. And there's nothing to ever be ashamed of about it. We come into this life with a natural born ability to say yes and no to things we inherently do and do not want. And we lose that as we grow because of social conditioning and our own issues with self-esteem or self-worth and many things. But we know that it's somewhere inside of us. So we owe it to ourselves to get in touch with our most basic needs, ask for what we need, and say no to what does not serve us, and walk away from situations or people that do not have our best interests at heart. We're born with the ability to intuit this, and that is because we are supposed to continue to intuit as we grow. But we get sidetracked with messages of shoulds and should nots. But remember, you are allowed to be happy. And remember, don't walk away from a negative situation and into your eating disorder. Walk away from it and into yourself. Walk away from it and into your voice. Walk away from it and into your power. Walk away from it and into yourself. And walk away from it and remember yourself. Walk away from it and embrace yourself. Walk away in relief that you get to fully be yourself, that you get to give yourself to yourself. Walk away and regenerate. Walk away and into the love you have for yourself. Don't walk away and cave. Walk away and surrender, and do so gently, with compassion, with respect for yourself. Walk away with congratulations. This will allow you to give love to others from your heart in full, with no strings attached, with no draining. And that's basically what I have to say about this. And when you do give that in full, it will be unconditional because it will be sustainable and self-replenishing. And that leads me to the next thing I want to connect you with, which is a great blog that my friend Sofia set up about sustainable kindness. Because you don't need to drain in order to give. And you can get something in return. You can get a sense of satisfaction and just happiness and heartfulness, which is apparently a term that I made up. But yeah, you can get that by giving in ways that are sustainable because they do not deplete you. They actually replenish you. So on the flip side of what we're talking about with saying no, she talks about saying yes, but from a centered and regenerating place. And so I'm going to link you to that blog and the cause that's behind it all, which is a very amazing and just humble cause. So thank you, Sofia, for that. And thank you all for watching, and have a good week. Thanks.